What piece of misinformation almost ruined your life? Our family doctor told my elderly mother that her heart problems were psychosymptomatic and that her chronic back pain was all in her head. Later that day, I saw her trying to walk up the stairs without her cane, grunting in agony, but saying she had just to push through the pain. I gently explained that her problems were real and that she would do more damage if she ignored them. But Elena, she said, he told me so many stories of people in the world getting rid of their chronic pain by strengthening their mind. Deep down I knew he was wrong, but he was a doctor. I felt like maybe I should trust him. So I did. But instead of helping, pushing through the pain only made my mom worse. She stopped going to church. She started calling in sick to her library job. I'd find heating pads all over the house, and she started relying on painkillers to even get out of bed. The next visit I asked the doctor if she could have some imaging done in an attempt to push back against his claim. He frowned and said that putting someone through all those scans at her age was unnecessary, then turned to my mom and told her that I was just worried because I read too many horror stories online. The way he laughed about it to the nurse as we left made my blood boil. It was so obvious he didn't take her seriously. The weeks went on and things kept getting worse. She could barely carry groceries. She forgot stuff all the time and lost her balance getting up. I started jotting everything down in a notebook and printing out a list of symptoms to bring with us. The next time I pushed back, he got annoyed. He actually rolled his eyes and said, "This is classic menopause or possibly depression. She needs a therapist, not more tests." I caught him whispering to the receptionist about patients who won't let things go. That's when her follow-up got scheduled for nearly 2 months out, even though he'd said to come back in 2 weeks. I felt like I was losing my mind. Mom tried to joke about it, but you could tell she was getting scared. I caught her crying in the kitchen more than once. She stopped calling her sister because she was embarrassed to talk about how bad it was. I started looking up stories online and joined a support group for families dealing with chronic pain. So many women had nearly the exact same story. They talked about medical gaslighting, and I realized that's exactly what was happening to my mom. I talked it out with my boyfriend, and he said I needed to push harder, maybe even go somewhere else. So I tried to get my mom's records transferred to a different clinic, and the doctor actually argued with me over the phone. He told me if we kept doctor shopping, nobody would ever take us seriously, and these issues are almost always psychological. I asked the nurse for paperwork, and she told me that the doctor said you two are a handful, but I'll get it done. I felt sick. It took a lot of calls, but I finally found a specialist willing to see my mom. From the second we walked in, she listened to every word. She read through my notes. She looked at my mom and asked about her pain, not her stress. She ordered an EKG right away and set up imaging for her spine and heart. She actually thanked me for being so thorough. For the first time, Mom didn't try to downplay anything. A week later, she called and told us to come in right away. She said the pain wasn't just real, it was urgent. My mom had severe spinal stenosis and a dangerous heart arrhythmia. She told us that if we'd waited much longer, my mom could have ended up paralyzed or had a heart attack. I felt my stomach drop. I helped my mom start treatment right away. There were surgeries and new medications. While this was going on, I ended up writing a complaint to the medical board, attaching everything, our notes, the specialist's diagnosis, and even what the nurse had said about the doctor calling us a problem. The board reviewed everything and apparently talked to the clinic staff. The doctor got a warning and mandatory bias training, but he never admitted he was wrong. He told the board he was just protecting the system. I still don't know if he ever understood what he put us through. My mom got better in the end and can walk pain-free again, but our trust in the system will never be the same.